Hi, welcome to Cannabinoid to API or Cannabinoid to Application Program Interface. So what this is about is Zimmer Peacock has a stack of technologies where we're able to measure real samples, and these real samples could be an extraction of hemp, or it could be blood, or it could be saliva. It could be condensed breath, for example, but that's a lot harder. But what we're talking about here is Cannabinoid to API and a technology stack from Zimmer Peacock. Now, this technology stack is intended to be used by entrepreneurs and businesses and startups who want to develop a test for one of the cannabinoids. It could be like THC or CBD or both. So what we'll do now is we'll sort of essentially jump into some of the material that we have here. So when we're talking about cannabinoids, as I say, CBD, cannabinoid diol rather, or THC, tetrahydrocannabinol. And what we're doing is we're doing the testing or the identification of compounds such as this using our core IP at Zimmer and Peacock, which is often based around electrochemistry. Not that electrochemistry is important necessarily to this discussion, but the whole thing about electrochemistry is it allows for a low cost platform, and you can use it on essentially dirty samples, like saliva, like blood, like in extract of hemp, for example. So we're expecting that there are entrepreneurs out there who want to develop a technology, they have a market, they have an application in mind, and they want to make a real acceleration in their progress. So what we have at ZP is we have the sensors, and the sample, for example, goes onto the sensor. Now the sensors require electronics, and so we have something we call the mini OmniSense. Now the mini OmniSense plugs into the phone, and this gives us a smartphone like an Android, and this gives us a couple of advantages immediately. It gives us a source of power, and it gives us great computational power, and it also gives us connectivity to the internet. And that's why we mean cannabinoid to API, because we can, using the smartphone now, be able to send the data to the cloud. So the sensor takes the sample. The sample, as I say, goes onto the sensor. The sensor fits into the mini OmniSense. Now at ZP, we have apps already that can um, reside on the smartphone. They can run the assay. You'll see a sort of progress bar clicking away, and there's an upload button which sends the data then to the cloud. Now at Zimmer Peacock, we've been developing this cloud close to a decade now, and it's called Julie, and it's in a unique cloud that it's able to bring electrochemical data into it. It can analyze that data, and then we can send out some meaningful information. Now, the reason we describe this as cannabinoid to API is because as the entrepreneur or the startup company or company that wants to be able to develop technologies for this, you want to be able to brand the final information on your own cloud or your own app. And that's why you're able to bring the data across to your system using our API. And so we can extract the signal from the raw data. You're able to call upon it, and then you're able to call something like the concentration, for example, in something like 5 ppm, 5 parts per million. So what we'll do now is just talk about the roadmap. So in the first instance, um, we're not expecting you, we're not going to brand up these sensors for you. You can just buy these sensors, and I'll explain where. But eventually we'd expect that you'd be able to sort of brand, once you've gone through the development phase and you've got, then you'll be able to brand the hardware with your own essentially branding, so that you can have that, client experience, or give the client a good experience. Now, as I say, this is an API. So when we send the data to the cloud, you're then able to call upon our API, and there's you can connect with us, and then you can make calls upon us as long as you've got the right authentication tokens. Now, there is a kit available online. If you have any questions about this, there's also a contact page at Zimmer Peacock. But what we're doing here is then there's sensors, so you're able to just get some sensors and essentially get going. There's a 12-month subscription to Julie. There's the mini OmniSense, as I say, that plugs into a smartphone, gives you the power, and then great. It also allows the app to reside on it, and it also gives you connectivity that you can send to the cloud. We also send you some CBD test solutions, so that you can obviously sort of test and get some meaningful data. If you need some more from us, then there's also a engineering services button that you can also click as well. So if you have any questions about this kit, really, which is, as I say, intended to kind of help entrepreneurs or startups or companies that want to kind of expand into CBD and THC testing, for example, you can use this kit and it's going to be a real acceleration in the development of that technology. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us at Zimmer Peacock. Okay, thanks very much.